to reach your landlord when, there's a roof problem or there's a leak, or there's, some sort of mold situation, and, there's all types of things. You can't reach them, and it's causing issues. And neighbors even sometimes these properties are vacant, and some vacant properties are falling apart, and people are like, who's the landlord? I want to buy it, or, something. You can't even reach them. And,
right.
And so a lot of them live in New York and New Jersey or even California.
Wow.
And so we're just like, people are just tired of...
Enough is enough.
So,
yeah, there you go.
So if a tenant, if they're not compliant and the tenant reports to you that they're not compliant and they lose their license, let's say they're just not compliant and they lose their license, how does that affect the tenant in the future? Because...
Well, for one thing, if you don't have a license, then you're not entitled to be paid the rent.
Ah.
Yeah.
That part.
That part. That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah. Dean knows this in and
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I know the pressure points and how to apply the pressure.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Anthony,
That's it.
let me ask you something, Anthony. How long have you been councilman for the 9th District, and how has it been going? This is a whole... Were you, when you grew up, did you say, hey, I can't wait, I want to be, in politics, or was this something that came later in life?
No, it's interesting you said that. I've been the 9th District Council member since November of 2022, and I did not grow up saying, hey, I wanted to be in politics. I did grow up around when I was in my teenage years saying that I wanted to be of service to people. I didn't know exactly what that looked like, but I just ended up, in youth service, and I did, I was helping young people become leaders and go to college and get careers and so forth, for over a decade. And, it's basically volunteer and also as a professional. And I ended up working with, elected officials, including Sherelle Parker, back in when I was in college. And I guess she would always see the work that I was doing. And she made me a committee person, and I took that very seriously. Everything I did, whether it's a volunteer or even paid position, I took it very seriously. And one day when she said she wanted to run for mayor, she thought of me for the position. I was like, oh, I'm good. I like doing youth work in the city. And she's like, yeah, well, I really think that you could do this. And I was encouraged to run, and I thought about who else was going to run. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take one for the team, because politics is a lot. And I wasn't always a big fan of it.
Oh, yeah.
Especially this winter.
Yeah.
Especially this winter.
It became more of a lot when I got in. I was like, oh my gosh, it was actually worse than I thought.
And that's saying
but
a lot.
I love the government side, the politics side. I can really do without. But you have to do the politics in order to do the service. But at the same time, it's like, because I didn't wake up doing this because when I grew up studying politics, it was a lot about influence and power and control, and I just necessarily didn't like that. And still is, but you just have to find a way to navigate that in order to do the service. And the service in doing landlord bills like this, is the reason why I love doing it, because I taught kids government. I taught kids civic engagement. So I was always around local government, always understanding it. And now that when I had the opportunity to do it, I was like, you know what, I can't take it up. I can't pass up on this opportunity, because I got to bring everyone's voice that cares about government being well to this table, even if it means sacrificing a lot of my own personal life.
So you've got a couple more years left on your first term?
I do. My term ends January 1st, 2028. Yep. Re-election is May 2027. So we got next year. So next May.
You're running again?
Yes, he's running again.
Yeah.
You better. You better.
There's actually there's liability stuff on stuff when you say it out.
Yeah. No, that was just a hypothetical question. All right, Anthony. Well, yeah. I really, I cannot tell you how good good it is to have you on the show. And and next time you got to wake up a little earlier and actually get into the studio.
Yeah,
How's that?
Come on inside.
It
man.
ain't that far.
I'll come in the studio. Yeah, because the two guys around you are a lot of fun. So I'll come in the show.
You got it. All right. Thanks for being a part of the show today, Anthony. Have a great Saturday, and we'll see you soon.
You got it, bro.
Thank you for
My
having me.
best to the family, young man.
Yes.
All right, all right, bye-bye.
Those long goodbyes.
He's a sharp young man, though. He really is.
Yeah.
And dedicated.
Sounds like
he's
it.
sincere.
Yeah. He must have started pretty young, though. I mean,
I would
you know.
say so.
Yeah. All right. I want to talk about something which came up this week. I mean, we've got a bunch of stuff here to talk about that Ms. Sarah has prepared for us.
Sure has.
But I'm going to throw that all to the wind in a second.
Whoa.
Well, I just think that there's
are we doing this? Okay, y'all heard him. All right.
There's things.
We don't know where we're going.
Yeah, no, we're not going there. There's things that are different, and it really became apparent this week between jurisdictions. So we talk about the way the law is, and most times we're talking about the way the law is here in Pennsylvania. Occasionally New Jersey or Delaware. But there are such drastic differences in the law that I thought it was really important to educate the listeners about that.
About the differences from state to state? What are we doing? Okay.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
differences from state to state. So we had a call this week from a man who was involved in an accident, and he's operating an Uber, and he's operating the Uber on Long Island.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no place in this country I won't travel to. For the right fee.
You ain't going to Iran right now for any fee. But go ahead. No.
You wouldn't let me, but
No, exactly.
I might try.
You ain't getting on the plane. Go ahead.
All right. So this guy gets into an accident, and he's driving down the street. A car's coming in the opposite direction, and the car inexplicably turns into the driver's side wheel well of this client's car. Okay?
Okay.
Yep. They're going opposite directions, and the car makes a left turn, so to speak, into the rear wheel of the client's car.
All right.
Okay. Tears the car up. I mean, this car is, just it's destroyed.
You said it was an Uber driver?
Yeah.
Did he have a customer?
He had customers in the car. And so the guy comes to a stop, jumps out of his car, and runs down the street.
The person that hit?
Yeah, the at-fault driver.
Hit and run.
Literally.
Well, literally.
Yes, literally.
Okay.
Yes.
And run. And it turns out that the car that was involved in the accident, the tags are bad. There's no insurance. And so I made a phone call to the insurance company and to inquire as to whether there was coverage for the Uber driver on an uninsured motorist policy. Okay. And here's the shocking thing. They said, yes, New York State mandatory $1.25 million in uninsured motorist coverage.
Okay, NYC.
$1.25 million. Every policy, if you're an Uber driver, has $1.25 million in uninsured and underinsured coverage.
Hold on.
Yeah.
$1,250,000.
That's right.
All right. Everybody got that.
Yeah.
No, I had to think about that for a second. Wow.
$1,250,000. Now, in Pennsylvania, same accident, same scenario, jump and run.
Right.
How much does the Uber driver have or the passenger have here?
Well, since you put it that way,
I guess
sure
whatever they have on their own policy, right?
How low?
I'm going to say 25,000.
How about zero?
Stop.
Zero. Now, listen, we had Anthony on, and Anthony is a councilman, so he doesn't really enact laws for the state, right? Only the city. And in this area, the motor vehicle code, that is a state-mandated law.
Shouts to Jordan Harris.
Amen.
Yeah. So where is Jordan and the other ladies and gentlemen of the legislature
on this issue? Do we have to bring him in? Are you trying? Is that where we're going?
I want to tell you that when Uber came into the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to start doing business, they had $1 million in coverage. But then one day they opened their eyes and realized that the legislature in Pennsylvania didn't require them to have it. And it went from $1 million to 50,000, from 50,000 to 25, from 25 to 0. Like they just said, you know what, if the legislature is asleep at the wheel in Pennsylvania, we're not waking them up. We're not going to give these folks a nickel, not a nickel. But in New York, $1.25 million. So this Uber driver and his passengers, even though they got hit by a hit-and-run driver, will be compensated for their injuries.
What's interesting is the person ran. Mm-hmm. So didn't the car that maybe so.
No.
So we're saying that the person that ran didn't own the car.
How do you know? In other words, okay, like people don't understand. If there is what we call a phantom operator, okay, you might think that the owner was driving his vehicle, but in this instance, you don't even know who the owner necessarily is because the tags on the vehicle come back to another car.
So, but we just know that the owner didn't have insurance.
We don't know who the owner is. So at some point, you got to file a lawsuit, right?
Right.
If you want to get compensated and nobody's helping you, right? Like you got to file a lawsuit. You got to name an individual on that lawsuit. Right. You could name the owner of the car, but that's not saying that person was the operator.
Right.
And so if I lend my car to you, and I'm not asking you to go do me a favor and go pick something up at the store, like a bag of Blue Chews or something. I'm not asking you to go do that.
How many times has he mentioned that? Are you being compensated now?
Let's just say that you needed to borrow the car for you.
Right.
Okay, so you go out and you borrow my car and you have an accident.
And I don't have a license, so
whatever. No, let's say you got a license, okay? Does my insurance... not my insurance, but am I, Dean Weitzman, responsible or liable for your behavior? No. Like if you took off, if you jumped out of the car and ran away, and they sued me, I wasn't driving the car.
Gotcha.
And you weren't operating the car on my behalf.
Gotcha.
Now, I have sued the owner only to bring the owner in, to question the owner under oath, to find out who was the operator of the vehicle. Right. I have done that on occasion. But in this case, in this New York case with the Uber driver, that's going to be pointless because the tag is bad on the car. The guy jumped out. There's no way there's insurance on this car. Okay, this is just a bad situation. And the only reason these folks are going to be compensated is because Uber was required to have insurance for uninsured and underinsured motorists.
All right, so let's take this back and rewind, recap the beginning. The bottom line is Pennsylvania legislators need to get on the ball. Are you going to make this an issue?
Listen, I've been trying to make this an issue ever since Uber got wind of the fact that it wasn't required to have UM and UIM coverage and canceled it. I've been on this soapbox for years. Wow. And I don't know why they, the legislature, feel like they have to kowtow to Uber. I mean, and not only Uber.
Rideshare, period.
Rideshare, period. Yeah. And also taxi cabs. Taxi cabs, you know.
You know what this is sounding like then? You know who is in charge of the taxis? The parking authority.
Yeah, they issue
the licenses.
The medallions.
The medallions, right. Yeah. This sounds like it may... How would Rideshare and the parking authority bump heads? I mean, why would Rideshare do it? What's the leverage tactic to make them go, you got to do this? They've been doing so far without it. What could make them do it?
I mean, rideshare drivers are going to drive because that's what they do.
But This insurance not only protects the passengers, but it protects the driver as well.
Yeah.
But what does it take from the company? What does it take from Uber? What do they lose?
They're going to have to pay an insurance policy.
Right.
They're far better in a better position to do that than anyone else because they're the ones who are making the money and setting the how much a ride costs. So, yeah, maybe a ride's a few cents more because they have to provide this coverage, but that risk is spread over millions of riders. And so it's not that big a deal.
So you don't see any fight from the rideshare companies if this was to indeed become legislative?
No, there's many jurisdictions around this country. New York is an example that we're using today. There are many jurisdictions where uninsured motorist is required. Maybe not $1.25 million, but there is a requirement to have it, and they have it in those jurisdictions because they want to do business there, and it's not cost prohibitive. They're not saying, hey, it's costing us so much money to have insurance in New York where it's mandatory that we can't make a profit, so we're not going to be riding in New York. They are still in New York riding.
Yeah.
You know, so come on.
What about
All they're doing is just making more of a profit here.
What about
but they're still going to make
Jersey?
a profit.
Do you know? Is Jersey the same? We don't know.
Jersey does not require uninsured motorists either. Whew. Yeah.
But Delaware and the tri-state, we not the whole trifecta. We don't know about Delaware either.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Delaware.
So if you're the champion for this,
Yeah.
you know the lobby firms. Everyone has a lobby firm to argue against. What's the argument to say you need to do this rideshare company? That it's not going to cost you any more. It's going to save you in the long run.
No, it is going to cost them more.
Well, pennies, you said,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's a risk that's spread over millions and millions of trips. And so, yeah, it's not going to add a lot to your Uber trip,
My trip.
but
Right.
it's going to give you a lot of more protection.
Is
More
Is
protection.
the New York number a good figure to start with? 1 point. Would you start with that number? Is there a number you would start with?
I like round numbers, so I'd probably say $1 million.
Yeah.
Just from off the top.
And,
Yeah.
and precedents from
They-
the door. There's precedents.
Yeah,
so
they
you go for
they
the million.
previously had $1 million in an uninsured motorist in Pennsylvania.
That's right.
Previously.
Yes.
Yeah, until the light bulb
Right.
went off, and they said, "Wait a minute, Pennsylvania legislature doesn't require us to have any uninsured motorists. Cancel that
And,
policy."
and nobody noticed. It just went, oh.
I
didn't know
noticed.
that.
I noticed. I've been singing about it, but it hasn't had any effect.
Well, you know
and
there
when
are
you talk to
legislators listening.
when you talk to the politicians about it, and some of them are probably listening.
They
now.
are.
Uh-huh. When you talk to them about it, they get like a glazed look over their eyes, like there's nothing they can do. I can't do anything. I'd like to.
I mean,
but
all somebody has to do is just
And this
put
is-
out a bill, create a bill.
this is a benefit for. You know, you don't have to be a Republican or a Democrat to benefit from this.
True.
Everybody benefits
With
from
equal
it.
opportunity here. Hey, legislator, whatever side of the aisle you're on, this needs to happen. Makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
They ride here all over the state, I'm sure.
Yes, they do.
You should have
pretty
brought
sure.
it up this week, Manuel, being that you were the man around town.
Hey,
brought it
man,
up this week.
Listen, you got to. By the way, may I real quickly, Dean? We raised the station earlier this week for St. Jude in an 8-hour period. We raised $90,000 for St. Jude. No child will ever be denied care suffering from cancer, and we did our little bit.
I
for our
wonder.
radiothon.
I wonder how much that organization raises because how could anybody feel like not like everybody should want to give to that organization. Every time they come on TV, you see those stories and it just tugs at your heart.
It does, man.
Yeah.
He was crying. Those stories all day long, vignettes, and they really will tug at your heart.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, these commercials, a lot of them are just heart tuggers.
it is. They were. It was hard not to be misty-eyed after the day was over.
Well, the 90,000 is a demonstration of the success.
Yes.
Yeah, and we
And
had
the generosity of our people.
and we found out, Dean, people were calling from all over the country because of the app. California, Georgia, Maine, as well as Newark and New York and Philly. It was amazing. It really was.
Awesome. 215-227-2727. How do you guys feel about the fact that every time you get into a taxi or a rideshare in Pennsylvania, And here's the
I didn't think about it.
here's
And
the
that's the problem. People don't think about it.
here's the criminal part of it. If I get into a ride share, right? I have uninsured motorists because I own cars, and I know that getting out of the house in the morning and leaving, there's a very good chance that I would be involved in a bad accident involving a car. Okay, it's just something that we'll all experience at some point in our lives.
Yeah,
and so I'm protected. If I'm in that ride share and I'm hit by an uninsured driver, I go back to my policy at home. Even though I'm not driving my car, I go back to my policy. But here's the criminal part. All those folks who rely upon rideshare, who don't own a car, okay, they can't buy uninsured motorists. They can't protect themselves. Their only shot at being protected is if the people who own that car and put it out on the street for ride sharing give them the uninsured motorist protection.
I don't think a lot of folks even know this, that this is happening when they call. I got neighbors, this is all they do. They don't own cars. This is all they do.
Yeah, I get it.
Wow.
I get it. And so they can't really protect themselves, and the legislature has seen fit not to protect them as well.
Something's going to change this year, Dean.
215-227-2727, the number for all things legal. Folks, may I suggest you use that number to ask any legal issue or question you have, because we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I would like to see the lines full of callers who have interesting questions to ask, and I intend to answer them. 215-227-2727. Be back in 2 minutes.
We ought to do these commercials the way they do those animal commercials. And the dogs and the animal shelters. You got to do rideshare commercials like to tug at people's heart. In the back of a
If you're in
rideshare.
a car and they hit, but like you're a passenger, would you have to use your own policy in like that case? Like if I'm in an Uber here.
If you're in an Uber here,
She's a car.
and
If
you own a car,
let's say your car is in the shop,
No,
but
don't matter.
you're
In a shop, it could be she just didn't take it, and she
Right.
decided she wanted to Uber that day.
right.
Your insurance policy applies to any injuries you sustain while you're in the Uber car. Now, you may sue the at-fault driver. It may be the Uber driver. It may be the other car. It may be both. So their insurance will pay you for your pain and suffering, but your medical expenses would be paid by your insurance. And if there wasn't enough insurance from the other two cars, and you had underinsured motorists, that would pay you
So
as well.
Would you say, I mean, I don't condone drinking and driving, but in a case like this, I'm better off just using my own policy.
Nah, you
My own
you better off.
No,
not
you're
drinking
You're-
and driving.
because
Well, no, but I'm
now
just-
you're going to layer it. You're going to get if you're in an Uber car because you were too drunk and you left your car in a bar parking lot.
Right.
You're going to get paid by the other two vehicles that were involved in the accident. And if you listen to Dean and you have underinsured motorists on your policy, and your injury is serious enough, then we're going to get that policy too. So you got more coverage.
Okay. I don't drink and drive. I was just saying hypothetically.
I know.
Yes.
No, you know. Just
This is very shocked. Like we got a client from the DoorDash. He is not get covered.
Really?
DoorDash here in Philly,
Yeah, deliver.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
because DoorDash doesn't provide underinsured motorists in
Yes.
Pennsylvania.
That's so crazy.
Nobody does.
That's so crazy. Well, yeah. People are engaged. They're mad at the legislation in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, since we're in the middle of an excursion, if there's some type of thing that happens in America, can we sue
Why?
anybody?
Why are
No.
we?
Can't sue anybody?
no.
I'm wondering why we haven't gotten calls to the studio. I wonder if the call.
Da. Da.
I was just. Yeah.
We're
Good
back.
morning. We're back.
Bless you.
I was just wondering if the call forwarding was working. That's all. I was concerned.
Oh, you ready to roll some heads, weren't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. But I'm happy to say it's not. Okay, line 2, Tina.
Hi, Tina.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. What's happening?
So I was just listening to you guys talk about the Uber thing, and I was saying, like, I'm going through something similar. I have a default judgment coming up with Uber because they had a driver that T-boned my car from a right turning lane trying to go into a left lane and hit my car. But the person was not the owner of the car. That person that was driving the car didn't have insurance. The owner of the car didn't have insurance, and Uber is like, we're not paying.
Yeah.
So I want to know that process.
Well,
because when I was talking to my attorney they said that we'll have to do a default judgment, and then I'll probably have to do a collection lawyer. And I'm just like, this is absolutely insane when somebody hit my car.
Yeah. Okay, so let me tease this out for a second. She's involved in an accident with somebody who's driving on the app, but it's not their car. They're not the driver who Uber thinks is driving for them.
Ooh, that happened.
And so sometimes like somebody who's qualified to be an Uber driver, they dish the car they lease it out to other people like who can't get qualified, and then they get a little piece of the action.
How do you get away with that? Your photo shows, the driver's photo shows up on the app. It's got it, and they have to correlate.
But do people really pay attention to that?
I think so.
To the people's faces?
But meanwhile, Tina's question is the issue is different. She sues the drivers or driver of the car, and the question is, does Uber have any responsibility? Uber is going to take the position that the drivers are independent contractors.
That's right.
And that Uber just runs the app platform that they're using and has no control or responsibility over the driver. So Uber's not paying. The driver has no insurance. She's going to get a judgment against the driver, but will she ever collect a nickel of that judgment? Chances are slim.
And none.
Slim. No, I won't
because
say
none.
I'm not going to say none because there's an issue here where she can have the driver's license revoked the second she gets that judgment. Tina, the second you get that judgment, you need to march that judgment to the PennDOT, and you need to have that driver's license revoked, and it will not be restored until you, Tina, tell the DMV that you allow it to be restored.
But question, going back to Uber, right? Aren't they required to have their drivers to have insurance? Isn't that a requirement of being an Uber driver?
Yes, but these people weren't supposed to be driving in the first place. They're not the ones that Uber thinks are driving that car.
They're subcontracted.
Yeah. Let me hear from Tina. You quashed her. Yeah. Tina?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, so, I think you have some control over this. Once you get a judgment against the driver, you can have their driver's license revoked. It will not be restored until you tell them that he's paid you and that you're not objecting to it being restored.
Okay.
And that'll last his or her lifetime.
Yes, indefinite.
Yeah, it's indefinite. So you do have some control over the situation. Though I would rather you be in a situation where you had uninsured motorist or uninsured. And I assume you don't, because if you did, you'd already been paid, and we wouldn't be having this conversation. So,
right.
So what that tells me is you're a recent listener to Court Radio, because if you're an old head, you'd have known to get uninsured motorists.
But that's if she owns a car.
That part.
She does. I think she does. The Uber driver drove into her car.
Right.
You need to go get uninsured. Half the people in Philly don't have insurance, and the other half don't have enough insurance. Right. So it's almost guaranteed that you need uninsured and underinsured motorist.
So her chances are slim and shady.
Yeah, slim and shady. I mean, if you get hit by me, that's, you hit the lottery. Because,
Don't say that, man. What?
Because I mean, I have enough insurance to compensate almost any injury I might cause. But how often does that happen? You know what I'm saying, Tina? If it doesn't take a lot to have a significant case, and God forbid if that happens, you want to make sure that you've protected yourself and your family. Get uninsured and underinsured motorists. Yep. Tina, thanks for calling Court Radio. Have a great Saturday.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Then you just put a target on your back. Don't say that again. Don't say that again.
I'm a very careful driver.
Okay, Rain Man.
It was like, I don't know, Johnny was in the car with me today coming to the studio, and he had both hands gripping things. And
it was a white knuckle ride.
Right.
My eye contact.
All right, let's talk to Alex.
Morning, Alex.
Shalom, shalom, Mr. Weissman.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm sorry, I went into my Russian tangent. I'm sorry.
You went global on us.
You did.
Yeah, I'm probably only one of few black men that actually can speak Russian.
Yeah, well, that makes you a black Russian.
Exactly.
Drink up.
I got the joke. My good day, everyone.
Good
My
day,
big
man.
brother Manuel Glenn. What's
Morning,
going
Alex.
on, sir?
How are you?
And Mr. Tactics, my
What's happening?
favorite DJ. What's going on, sir?
I'm good.
How's everyone doing? Good. My quick question: when you had the councilman on earlier about the landlord, is there can you go on the city website and find out? Because it's a quick question, and find out whether your landlord is licensed to rent to you or not. Because that's what I was thinking about. Because you got so many slumlords out here. And I was just wondering, was there a city website that they might have that you could publicly find out?
Yeah. Yep. You can verify if your landlord has a rental license
Can you?
in Philadelphia by using online city resources. The most direct method, searching for the property address on the Philadelphia Atlas tool.
Atlas?
Atlas. Philadelphia
ATLAS.
ATLAS.
Okay.
Philadelphia Atlas tool.
Okay.
Under the Licenses and Inspections tab to find active, inactive, or expired licenses. Landlords in Philly must hold a valid license. Philadelphia Atlas tool. Alex, does that answer your question? Of course it does. Do you know why?
To remember.
What?
Say it again. Say it again.
I said
No, I was listening to you.
that answers your question, right?
Oh, most definitely. And I know you're a careful driver. I know I would be a careful driver too with some of the vehicles that you possess. I'm sure you're well covered.
I let it fly on the racetrack. That's where I do my racing, on the racetrack.
Okay, a man after my own heart, because I'm a car enthusiast myself. I've still kind of mad at myself. I sold my Shelby. I had a Shelby.
I was getting ready to bring that up.
Wow.
Did you really?
Wow.
Yeah. Because most people know Carroll Shelby for Mustang, but he worked with Dodge and Lee Iacocca for 2 years because he fell out with Edsel Ford.
He did.
The third, and he said, "All right, I'll go to Dodge."
Well, why? Let me ask you a question, real quick. We do have to move on, but. Just to give me the short version. Why'd you sell your car?
Well, I had an accident and I did some damage to the front fender, and I didn't really feel like fixing it. I could have fixed it myself, but I didn't want to take it to a shop either. Then I bought another car, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna sell it. And once I found out afterward, I'm like,
Did you regret selling it?
Is a pig pork?
Yeah. Okay. It's a pig pork.
7 Up.
Yeah.
Was the Shelby blue? What color?
No, actually, it was black and red.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Because it was called a Dodge Omni GLH.
All right, we got to run, Alex. Love you.
Yeah.
Got to run.
All right, have a good one.
Be
You too,
well, my
Alex.
friend. Let's talk to Theo on line 4. Oh, Theo. And by the way, folks,
Hey, Mr.
hold on one sec, Theo. I just want to thank everybody. You're listening to me and following good, orderly direction and calling.
And you are the award-winning law firm.
Yes, we are.
Thanks to these listeners.
Yes, we are. All right, Theo. It's all about you now, sir. What's up?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Weissman?
Good.
I wanted to ask you, I'm not going to be as long as my previous caller now. First of all, you spoke about uninsured. I'm in Delaware. You spoke about uninsured motorists and underinsured where you were not driving, so you were a passenger, but you were still covered. Also, I'm a first-time caller. I like to get a shirt.
Brother,
Yes,
I am so happy to give you a shirt.
Yeah,
We got you. So at the end of the call, just stay on the line, and I'm going to have Sarah circle back with you to get an address.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. So what's your question again?
My question is, you spoke about you were a passenger in the vehicle with underinsured motorists. Your policy was at home, and you were still covered, even though you were not driving and it was not your vehicle.
Yes, that is correct.
Uninsured.
Yes. Okay, first off, let's go through Delaware. Delaware requires the offer of uninsured and underinsured motorists, but policyholders are not required to take it. So similar to
Correct.
Pennsylvania and New Jersey. But if you choose to buy uninsured and underinsured motorists, then that coverage applies even if you're not operating your vehicle at the time of the accident. So you're in a friend's car driving, and another car is at fault. They crash into your friend's car. You're injured seriously. You collect money from the at-fault driver, but his policy is insufficient to fully compensate you. You then go to the underinsured motorist carrier for the car you're in. Still, you collect that policy and you're not fully compensated. You have a very significant injury. You can then go to your household coverage. Each of these layers is responsible. But again, I have to warn my listeners that there are significant differences between jurisdictions. For instance, and just as a for instance, if you're in New Jersey, and let's just say, Manuel, that you have a $1 million injury. Whatever it is, it's worth $1 million. The car that you're in New Jersey that you own has a $100,000 uninsured, underinsured motorist policy. The car that struck you has a $100,000 liability policy. The car that struck you, it pays you $100,000. But now, in my way of thinking, you're still underinsured for $900,000, right? Your case was worth $1 million, but you've only gotten $100,000.
Right.
Where's
the other 900,000 come from?
And you say, well, I'm going to go back to my underinsured policy. In household, I have $100,000. But if you live in New Jersey, that household policy says, we take your policy, your $100,000, we deduct what you collected from the at-fault driver, which is $100,000 in this case, and that leaves you $0. Same accident in Pennsylvania. They don't care that you collected $100,000. They look at the value of your injury and say, okay, $1 million injury, you got $100,000 from the at-fault driver. You still are entitled to $900,000. You have $100,000 at home. We're giving you the $100,000.
Pennsylvania jurisdiction.
Yes.
Not so much in Jersey.
Right. Jersey, whatever you have on your policy at home is the maximum you'll ever recover in that accident from all sources. Got it? Got it. Theo, thank you for your interesting questions. Stay on the line. Sarah will come back to you to get your address.
So nuanced.
Thank you, sir.
It is so nuanced. It is.
And what do you attribute that to?
Well, the United States Constitution gives states the right to enact laws for their state. And so these types of laws, these motor vehicle codes, are a patchwork of law around the country, and it's what's important in your state, right? So we know in New York, it's important for those folks. They deem it important to have uninsured motorists on their Uber cars. Our boneheads in Harrisburg do not deem it important. We don't want to put New York's what they deem to be important and force us to do the same thing. So we're independent. Each state is independent of the other unless it's a federal issue. But there are very few federal issues, and certainly when it comes to trucking laws, those are federal laws. Okay,
You're on highways so often.
there's also Department of Transportation laws for Pennsylvania, so there's PennDOT.
That's state.
But then there are also the federal trucking regulations that they have to adhere to. But regular old driving your car kind of stuff, that's just state by state, and it's the luck of the draw. We got another caller, and we got time for one more before break.
We're up against that clock.
We got 3 minutes. We'll take a quickie. How about Sue? She's been very patient. Line 5.
Morning, Sue.
Sue, welcome to Court Radio.
Hello. Good
Hi.
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's your question,
How is
Sue?
everyone?
We're all
Good.
good.
We're good. We're
My
good. Thank
question
you.
Is, I'm sorry. My question is not in regards to Lyft driving or anything of that sort.
That's
It's
okay.
in regards to an assisted living facility. I was a supervisor there. They house mental health and disabled individuals. Now, as a supervisor, I was a mandated reporter. Being a mandated reporter, if you don't report, and I have looked up case laws, if you don't report, you could be prosecuted with criminal charges. I did the right thing. These CEOs of this company abused the individual, beat them, drugged them, punched them, kicked them, choked them on the corner of 62nd and Lebanon. I turned the video in, and the state adult protection services handled them, whereas though now they're fighting for their license. However, these people have been harassing me, defaming my character, and trying to humiliate me and retaliate against me ever since. Our question would be, who is there to help mandate reporters? Because when mandators don't report, they're getting served by the city. So who's here to assist mandated reporters when they do the right thing to report? Because these people done came to my house to fight me. They have sent DHS to my house.
You still working there? You still working there?
No, I quit because of them trying to force me to say and do things that was falsified, to falsify documents because they were being investigated for individuals.
So my question, I guess,
that they beat.
we're up against our next break, but I just want to say that you should probably call the office on Monday, and we may be able to assist you in getting a referral to an attorney who does employment cases, because it sounds like a classic hostile work environment situation that maybe you'd be entitled to be compensated. In other words, you didn't leave because you had another job or you didn't like the place. You left because it was so hostile you couldn't continue to work there. And that's a classic case where, folks can get damages against their prior employer.
Okay.
So, you have the power. I'm going to give you the power, and you can exercise that power. So call us on Monday, and my folks will get you assisted with a referral to an employment discrimination and hostile work environment lawyer.
The same number you called today.
Yeah, 215-227.
Thank you so much.
Listen, folks, that's the only number you ever need. 215-227-2727. Put it in your cell phone.
Call it first.
Yeah, I mean, come on. How many times do people have to come up to my office and say, I thought you were a Philly lawyer, and or even worse, I listened to you for years and I love your advice, but some tow truck guy got me after the accident and brought me into somebody else's office. I mean, listen, you've got to be responsible for yourself.
Lisa, thank you.
Take care. It was actually Sue.
I'm sorry, Sue. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all right. Sue! That's what she needs to do.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back in 2 minutes, folks.
Tell you what. If I use the term fallout shelter, you know what I'm talking about? How about you? You know?
I only know because I just saw that they're making a show about it. But at first I was like, what the hell is a fallout shelter?
Have you ever seen that sign in your school?
Fallout is the joint.
Did you ever see them in your school? You remember them, right?
Of course.
You know how many folks don't even know they exist? And right now, I'm thinking about them.
I'm not sure if they exist anymore.
They do.
They do?
They still do. You know who has the best in the city? You guess where it is?
Where?
Under City Hall.
They're making a reality show about it.
Oh, I guess there has to be a continuity of government.
Exactly. That's where I'm running to. Or your bunker. I'm sure you got a bunker, Dean.
I should
I'm coming
build a
with
bunker.
the generator.
Yeah. Should build bunkers.
I need to know where to go.
Or maybe, just buy like 5 or 6 acres in the middle of the state and just.
There are folks doing it, I'm sure.
Yeah. What they're doing is they're just digging holes in the ground and putting like tractor trailer, the tractor in there. Yeah. And it becomes like a room.
And that's it?
Then they put water in.
They put water in the food and a way out and air and generator.
Yeah.
All right. Supply for a couple of years.
A couple of years?
Hey, listen, that nuclear waste.
He watches Paradise. That's a show right now.
Man, I came up in the 60s where we were worried about Cuban Missile Crisis. We were all trained on that stuff.
Well, Paradise.
Hey, Cuba's
watching Paradise doesn't.
State. Yeah.
Go ahead, little Marco. That was his deal. Hey, you'll be able to get them cigars.
Oh yeah.
So there's the bright side.
There is the bright side.
Someone said your basement is a bunker, Dean.
It's not a bunk. It's not enough of a bunker.
It's not enough bunker.
Not enough bunker. I got to go a little deeper, but I hear you. Is the lazy smoker somebody we know?
That's Chris.
Okay, Chris. Hey, Chris.
Chris V.
Right. Okay. Sip of coffee.
Chris V. Chris V plays poker with me on Thursday nights when he's, not whining about losing. Did I say that out loud? Yes, sirree, Bob. We're back. I am your host, Dean Weitzman, every Saturday morning. Whatever I'm doing, I stop what I'm doing and I fly down here to the studio. And
yeah, literally. That's the next. You might as well get a pilot's license now. Why don't you go ahead and fly planes?
Well, it's coming.
I knew it.
No. First of all, I had a student pilot's license.
I didn't know that.
I closed down Northeast Airport when I crash landed once.
Stop it.
Yikes.
Is this real?
It's a real story.
What were you flying?
Piper.
Get out of here.
Took my first solo. Like my teacher, my instructor, we were doing touch and goes. Okay, and then when we touched down one time, he said the plane came to a stop. He opened the door, jumped out, and said, "I think you can do this on your own." I said, "You really serious?"
You forced him to retire.
Yeah, and he said, "Yeah, you can do this. I know you can. Go for it."
He was he was scared.
So pushed the yoke up there and pulled back, and up in the air I went by myself. And I'm like looking down at the airport, flying the plane, blah blah blah, and I hear the tower talking to another plane in the distance, and the other pilot is like doesn't speak English well. So what I hear is, Piper 6743, turn left, and and he's like, and they can't communicate with one another for a little while, and then she just says, okay, tells that pilot, you just do donuts, stay wherever you are, and tells me, land immediately. So I'm like, okay. And so there's a way to shed a lot of altitude off of your plane quickly by like pushing in the pedals and doing, it's been a while. So, but you can gently bring the plane down as quickly as possible, and that's what I was trying to do. Now, this is very unfair to ask a student pilot who's first solo,
pal.
And so I come down onto the runway with a little too much speed, and I porpoise.
Porpoise?
You hit the runway, you bounce up, you hit the runway, and I then go off into the side dirt. Well, it had rained the night before, and the dirt was mud, not dirt, and the front wheel went into the mud. And so, did zero damage to the plane, but they did have to shut Northeast Airport down for a short while while a tow truck pulled the plane off of the
out of the mud.
When this happened? How old are you?
I am in my late 20s, early 30s.
You're a kid. You're a young guy.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Early 30s. And I guess that experience was so devastating that I never really got back into it again.
Dang.
I mean, I did fly a little bit after that, but it was never the same.
All right, so if we're ever somewhere
yeah,
on
I
a
could
plane,
do it. I could do it.
You could do it.
I could do it.
You sure?
I'm sure. That's
Okay.
why I don't sleep on planes. Just in
You
case.
Just in case you gotta land the plane.
You waiting to get the car.
Just in case you gotta land.
Just in case they need me.
Is there a pilot in the house?
Even
I'm a pilot.
even if it's like a 16-hour flight to China, I do not sleep on planes. Just in case they need me.
So you really think, if called upon,
I will
big,
do it.
I don't know what were they, the big 777, whatever the big
the
plane.
Boeing-
Dreamliner.
You could
Dreamliner.
get
The
in there,
787 Dreamliner, if I have to, I'm going to give it my best
and
shot.
those people are in good hands.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
What do you want to fly one just once and try to land one of those big boys? No,
Nah.
never.
Nah.
Okay.
No. Maybe I have to work myself back up, but I don't know if it's the right time right now. Maybe I should hire
So
somebody.
you are officially planes,
trains,
And
boats,
automobiles.
and
Boats.
automobiles.
Yes.
Look at you.
I threw Mama from everything. Sorry, Lenny. God bless you.
That's a good story, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're getting close to the end here.
3 minutes. What do you got? What do you got?
Real quick, let's get Alan on the line 2. Alan, are you still there?
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Alan? You're a patient.
I'm doing fine.
Alan, from the looks of this question, you're a very patient man, and I'm going to try to get you moving here in the right direction. Alan says his landlord did not have insurance on his building for the 15 years he has been living there. Does he have a case? Well, if he doesn't have insurance on his building and something, God forbid, happens to the building, he's the loser, not you. How would his insurance have helped you?
Well, my question is, it was required. I contacted a lawyer. The lawyer said Pennsylvania law requires you to have insurance on any property that you're renting out.
Okay.
But like I said, I've been there 15 years, so he never had the insurance.
Right.
And my door was broken in by an ambulance that came to get me. I was passed out, and they broke the door in, and I needed the landlord to come fix the door, and he said he wasn't going to fix it. And that's what started the whole situation.
All right, so here's the deal. If a landlord has insurance, it is probably for the benefit of the landlord, because we as renters always have to have renter's insurance. The landlord's responsible for everything outside, but let's say the landlord's electrical system is bad and it causes a fire and burns your stuff down. Then you'd have damages. And then you would sue him, and you would win. In this instance, you could sue him for the cost of the door, and I can tell you how to do that next week when we have a little more time. Give us a call back, and have a great Saturday, I should say, and Sunday, and the rest of your week. We'll be back next Saturday, same time, same place.
Now, what was the name somebody came up with for when we're off and we're just on YouTube? The deposition. What was somebody came up with a great name for this? After the show, we're still on YouTube.
Closing arguments?
Was it closing arguments?
Yeah, I think Chris said it.
Chris,
And we will have to forever give him credit for that. Closing arguments. We are now in closing arguments.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to wrap up this show. Is there any? I
got a question. Does anyone know where cheap gas is?
No.
What is cheap gas?
What is cheap gas?
That's still in the $3 range right now.
I paid $4.72 yesterday, but I get premium.
Same here.
94.
I paid $4.55 for premium.
I mean,
but it was $3.25 a week ago at my Sunoco.
That's right, and it's going to go higher.
Man, this is a problem.
It's going to go higher.
It's only a problem for people who can't afford $5 gas.
That's right.
That's a lot of people, Dean.
Hey,
that's a lot of people, Dean.
What are they going to do about it?
Yeah, what you going to do? Because guess what? I sit up there and I look around like Iran, when I look and see what's going on in Iran, it's being blown up, but people still just driving around. It's like, yo, we got to do what we got to do. We're still driving around.
Watch the war.
Yeah.
I remember when that started.
But people are just driving around. So why, Us, we gonna be
But do you
driving
know what
around
they
too.
pay for gas in the Middle East, like in Dubai and Saudi Arabia? They pay nothing. They're oil rich. Why are we paying so much? And we're oil rich. If we're so oil rich, why do we pay so much?
Well, there has to be at some point, if gas is so plentiful and cheap enough that it's like a yin and yang. They're not making enough money off the gas to go into the ground and extract more of it and then process it. That whole processing thing is so expensive that if gas is only $50. If gas is only $50 a gallon,
gotta be refined.
or
$50
a barrel, then they're not making enough to pull
gas
it out.
is $120 a barrel right now.
Now
Oil is.
We like to keep it around 75,
7 or 80 is what it's been.
Yeah. Anything? From
Actually, it went down. It went down to 60.
That we need to address before we wrap up our closing arguments.
Say it again.
Anything from the tube? I'm asking.
What we got, Carly?
Ms.
Carly
Martin.
Quinn.
Carly Quinn.
One
Back
question I
again.
saw was, say you're in an Uber as a passenger, and you're getting into an accident with one of the Waymo cars, the Waymo.
Oh, Waymo.
Oh.
How does that get?
How does that get worked out, huh?
Yeah.
Haven't heard of one of those.
Well, I need a fact pattern. Like if let's just say your Uber driver is driving down the street, and then all of a sudden the Waymo car coming in the opposite direction makes a crazy left turn right into the driver's door. That sounds like it's all Waymo, no Uber. But what if it's an intersectional accident where the light is red for one and yellow for the other, and they both kind of jump the intersection? Then it might be a little bit of both. Like anything else, if Waymo does something wrong and contributes to or causes an accident, then that platform, that company that put it out there is going to be responsible.
But do they have the same policy since it's like a rideshare? Essentially, it's just rideshare.
It is, and they probably.
I don't know if there's no humans involved.
They're probably
with Waymo.
going to require it to have as good of insurance, if not better, than a manned vehicle.
Have you seen these yet? Anybody?
What?
Yes.
Waymo?
There's one I think there's one no, not in Philly.
Not in Philly yet.
Is that a fake person sitting in the driver's seat?
It's nobody.
Nobody.
There's like an
Nobody.
image or something. No, you see it sometimes. There's like an
No.
image in the window. It
No.
looks like someone's in the driver's seat.
No.
Took one time.
Okay.
In
And there's
Shanghai.
no one there.
No one there.
Can
No
you,
one-
if you need to get to the wheel, can you? If you had to get control of the car.
Is there even a
No,
wheel?
Is there a way to
back-
steal?
Back in the seat.
But can you get up front if you had to? Is there a partition there? This is I'm uneasy with that stuff.
Yeah, but you're not uneasy with a human driving you who may
no, because- right.
who may take your life out very quickly.
Well, because I would think that they'd also worry about their life. And I have an opportunity. I just want to know that I can
Maybe.
get to the wheel if I have
Maybe.
to.
How about a pilot who wants to commit suicide and take everybody with them?
Well,
Yeah.
That's why every time I fly, I stop in the cockpit to make sure that dude's having a good day. I do. I'm dead serious. How you doing, Captain? And they love it. They take pictures. I've been in the cockpit.
But what if you realize he's having a really bad day? You getting off the plane?
I might.
You know,
No,
I'm
no,
so-
that's serious.
I'm so
man.
depressed today.
If
My
he-
wife
my
left
wife
me.
left me. I'll be like, hey, dude, listen, hey, you
It'll be
drink?
okay.
Yeah. I'll be like, honey, we're leaving. Come on. I got a bad feeling.
And the other YouTube burning question is the hoodie.
They
Everyone
like
wants
your
to
hoodie,
know
man.
where-
They
The
want
hoodie. Yeah.
This hoodie I got last year at the F1 races in Miami. It is the Mercedes hoodie from F1 racing from last year.
Nice.
There you go. I got a lot of compliments on this hoodie last night, too. I was wearing it. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, if there's nothing more that you want me to answer, there's something here from Mr. Voodoo. What is this?
I'm off to Jersey. Shout outs to Plainfield, New Jersey. He's about in the state championship.
Any of you remember 3 Mile Island?
Yep.
You said what?
You remember 3 Mile Island?
Yeah.
All right, you know how close we came to nuclear obliteration? I was in Harrisburg when that happened, that meltdown happened.
I was in-
I'm not new to the fallout thing.
I was in New Jersey. I was like in my apartment building. I was like, oh snap!
Hey, bye. We saying bye.
Folks, we're done. I'll see you.
Said, wrap it up.
I'll see you next Saturday, same time, same place.
So Carly left us for 2 weeks. Can we talk?